guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Naledi, and today I am back with another video. I know it's been a while, and today's purpose of this video is to explain why I've been away and what has been happening in my life and stuff, and hopefully it will all make sense to you and come together as I shoot this video. Hopefully I don't cry or become overly emotional, but I'm gonna try my very best. So if it's your first time here, please do not forget to subscribe and become a full-time part of the family. If it's not your first time here, then welcome back, baby. Yes, you already know what it is. So yeah, without any further ado, let's get into this video. Yep. Mm, mm, mm. Oh my god. Oh my god. Damn, I actually thought I could do this, but now I'm sitting here and I'm just thinking, why am I doing this? 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 But I've prayed about it, and I think I've reached that point in my life where I can actually talk about what's been happening in my life without actually even crying or shedding a tear or whatever. So I'm gonna try my very best to stay calm and collected for this video. So please bear with me. And also guys, another thing, please excuse the reflection of the ring light on my glasses. I have to have my glasses on because as I'm going through a lot, but I'm pretty sure I can do this. So the last time I posted was probably June or July, before the 29th of July. Let me put it that way. So, as you guys know, I'm not going to be able to talk about this. I don't know, but I'm trying my best. I'm going to try it. Please bear with me. So, let me just go to the day this happened. On the 29th of July, I lost my brother to a car accident. And it hasn't been the easiest thing. So for me, like, it was a normal day. But I think I felt it in my gut that something was wrong, because I should have known, but I couldn't have, because I had this thing of brushing dreams away and be like, oh, it's probably just a dream. Throughout that whole week that my brother passed, I was having dreams back to back of people dying, and I was dreaming of people dying like an hour apart from each other's passings and stuff. And the dreams were happening around the area where my brother lived. Yeah. So come Thursday, the 29th of July, I went to bed super early that day. Like, it wasn't even 8 yet. Like, by the time I went to bed, it was probably like 7, half past 6 to 7. So I felt tired. Like, I felt so tired. I was exhausted. I just wanted to sleep. I didn't want to stay up and watch television with my family. I didn't want to just do what I normally do on a daily basis. But that one particular day, I just felt heavy. My body was not okay. Like, I wasn't fine. I went straight to sleep. I didn't even get inside my sheets, like inside my blankets. I just slept on my bed with a smaller yana blanket, because my plan was I was gonna wake up around 10 o'clock and try to study, you know. But I couldn't wake up. I stayed asleep. And then I left my mom and my sister in the living room, and then around 10, by the time I had asked my mom to wake me up, she walked into my room with my younger sister, and she was crying. And then instantly I opened my eyes. I'm like, because every time my mom cries, like, I worry. Like, I always think that she's either sick or something's wrong, you know? So on that particular day, She walked into my room, she's crying, she can't even get a word out. So I'm trying to find out, like, mom, what's wrong, what's wrong? I keep asking her what the problem is. So yeah, as I was saying, my mom walks in and she's crying and she can't even get a word out. I open my eyes and I look up to her and to like, what is wrong, you know? My sister, like, she couldn't tell me also. I think my mom hadn't told her yet. So she looks at me, she's like, your brother passed away. I'm not gonna mention his name, you know, because I can't. Just to respect his privacy, I know he's no longer with us, but let me not mention his name, right? She's like, your brother passed away. I'm like, wait, wait, wait. Like, to me at that time, it didn't click that, wait, death, death, death means gone forever. Like, I think I went blank for a second. I just looked at her. I was like, mom, are you sure you're okay? She's like, your brother passed away. I'm like, no, no, you know? I was like, no. Like, I was in so much. I just couldn't believe it. Like, I was in disbelief, guys. I was like, no. I just looked at her. I'm like, no, no, no. And then I followed her to her bedroom. Me, I'm thinking, "Oh, maybe she's sleepwalking or she just had a bad dream." But no, we got to her bedroom and then she just couldn't stop crying. She calls her twin sister and they're all crying. I'm like, okay, wait, this is actually real. This is happening. So then October baphela vele instantly at that time. So now I'm texting my cousins. I'm trying to reach my sisters to ask, like, is this real? Is it true? What is happening? What exactly is happening? You know? And then they all like they confirm that, you know, my brother's gone. Then I ask what had happened, and then they tell me. And then for the rest of that night, I couldn't sleep. I just couldn't sleep. And then the next day we had to drive and travel to Mpumalanga because my mom and my younger sister moved to Gauteng, so like I'm far from the family. So my mom the next day she's like, I can't go to work like this. Let's just drive and go to Mpumalanga, you know, and just be with family because we can't be alone at such a time. And then fine, we wake up the next day and we travel. And for the first time, my mom got lost and took the wrong route to go back home. She took the wrong route. We ended up paying so many toll gates. Yo guys, abamba indlela esisa eLimpopo and was supposed to she missed an off ramp or something. I can't remember what she missed, but like she missed a turn somewhere. Sasithola sesithethe indlela eya eLimpopo, guys. I was like, wait a damn minute. I know for a fact that this is not where we're supposed to be. She's like, as umntana yini ungiphethe manje because I never got get lost. And now because we're going through this, obviously my mind is not here. I'm still surprised that she actually managed to drive from here all the way to Mpumalanga without any problems or whatever. So, well, except for the fact that we almost got lost. So finally on the road, on our way, and then we get to the place, we get to Mpumalanga, and now we're making our way to my brother's place, and then we pass the place where the accident happened. We we passed where the accident happened, and all I saw was blood, a pool of blood. All I saw was a pool of blood, and obviously they had removed the body by the time we arrived at the place. So we passed that place and I got goosebumps passing that place. I couldn't even explain the feeling that I had when we were passing the place. And then fine, we carry on driving, we get to my sister, my brother's place, let me just put it that way. When we get there, we find my grandparents and all my aunts and my mother's sisters and stuff. I couldn't hold myself. I started crying. So now when we get there, we find people like they had already calmed down, and then I'm coming here with my tears and I'm making everybody else cry again. We cried, and we just sat there as a family, just all shocked and in disbelief. And in my head, I'm like, my brother's passing was definitely not God's will. I even today, I still believe that it wasn't God's will, because there's no way that God would put me in such a position to have to deal with such a loss. Like, and it was the first loss that I've ever felt so hard, like so hurt about, because he's I grew up with that boy, and well, it's not a boy, he was like a year older than me. I grew up with him, and we did almost everything together. And then obviously after moving, I wouldn't see him as much, and I'd only get to see him when we visited back home. So it was really painful for me just to learn that I'll never see him ever again. Every time we visit my grandparents' place, I'll never see him ever again. It broke my heart, like I was shattered. And I think it didn't hit me. Like, yeah, man, I had the thing with, okay, my brother's gone. It was painful. I cried. But it didn't hit me as bad until the day of the burial. Like all those days that for the rest of that week, when people would come from like the neighborhood, Bezebazon, Kalisa, and singing gospel songs and praying and preaching and doing all that, I would cry because like they're there because of that one particular reason, that Bazos Kalisa, right? And then the day of the burial, because I hadn't seen him. The day of the burial, I was allowed to see his body before it went, to the ground. And I think it didn't hit me that my brother's gone until that time. It didn't hit me that my brother's gone until that time, you know? So now it's the morning of the burial. I'm gonna skip all the other days. It's the morning of the burial, and we went to view the body, and I saw him laying there without a pulse. It was the first time ever seeing a person without a pulse for me. The first time seeing a lifeless body, like his heart wasn't beating. He didn't have no pulse. Obviously, he's dead, right? And I looked at him. Maybe he's gonna open his eyes and just look at us and wink and just do something. But like he was just laying there. He was just laying there, and they had already cleaned him. All he had was like one scar right here. That was the first time ever for me that I actually cried so hard. Like that was the time where it actually hit me that I'm here because my brother's gone, you know. So we had you guys wait. For me, even now it's still painful for me, also thinking that my uncle is the one who had to go view the body when they found out that an accident happened, and him driving all the way from his house to the place of the accident, because he's a cop, right? Driving all the way from his house all the way to the scene of the accident, only to find out that the person he's viewing is his sister's child. I don't know how he's coping. Me personally, I wouldn't be fine. Like, so fine, we went there, we viewed the body. I cried all the way from the mortuary to where they had to collect his spirit, and then we had to drive from there all the way to the church for the service, and then drive from the church to the the cemetery where we buried him and stuff. Ew, guys, I've never cried so hard in my life. I've never cried so hard in my life. And I was already depressed before his passing, but I think my depression reached its peak ever since my brother passed. Like, I haven't been okay. Like, I just wake up and start crying. Sometimes I'd feel like he's in the room with me. I couldn't sleep. The dreams that I had of him also after his burial were like very sad dreams, which proved to me that my brother's not resting where he is, which really just breaks my heart. And ew, and that's how I know that it's not God. It's not God's will. God would not put me in such a position. God would not give me this much of a weight to carry all by myself. I just know it's not God's will. It wasn't his time. He was way too young. And like he had his entire life ahead of him, and then it was cut short because of people and jealousy. But I'm not gonna talk about that. Like, if you believe in witchcraft, then you would know exactly what I'm talking about. But I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna go into detail with all that. But I'm thinking as we would bangithathele ubhuti wami, and I'll never get to see him ever again, unless of course he keeps coming in these dreams. But the dreams are very, very sad and scary. That, like, it's too much for me to handle. So I'm praying for better days. I'm praying for better days. There was like, after his burial, obviously we had to go back home, like where he stayed, at my aunt's house. I call him my brother. It's actually my cousin, but I call him my brother because that's how we grew up. Like, growing up, so like a gogo, sibizana ngobhuti nosisi, in jail was just like that. So we had to go back to that area, and it was so packed. There were a lot of people. It was full, and it looked like a party instead of, Tina ever since it was us, like the close family, obviously, and then everybody else, like the people from the neighborhood, and then other extra people that I don't know where they were coming from, but they were there. And then I stood alone, like on the side, and I just looked around. I was like, in my head though, I was like, there are people in this crowd that are here and are happy that my brother's gone, or are happy that we are going through what we're going through. Like, it was the most painful thing. I couldn't take it, and then after that, obviously, I went straight into like deep depression. I'm still depressed. I don't know how to handle it. I don't know how to control it. I'm just leaving, basically. I'm still not okay. I'm really trying to take it one day at a time, and basically praying for better days. I am praying for better days because I know for a fact that I'm not functioning off of my own strength or off of my own ability. This is God, actually. Because right now, there were days where I just wake up suicidal. It's been over 2 months now. It's been over 2 months. So it's July, August, September, October. Basically 3 months. It's been over 2 months. And I'm still not okay. But today, I don't know what happened. I just got the strength to shoot this video because I think it's time I get back to grinding and just shooting and uploading, because what else can I do? I can't complain. There's no way I can bring him back. It's just really sad, but I'm praying for better days. I know I'll get better, but I know that I will not heal. I know I'll get, or let me just say, I know that there will come a time where I'll be able to accept that my brother's gone and there will be no way of bringing him back. So that's that. And yeah, guys, I think I'm just gonna leave this video here because I'm getting really emotional and I don't wanna be all teary and crying on camera because I ugly cry. So yeah, Yo, good. I'm actually getting very emotional. I don't want to cry, but anyway, if you've made it to the end of the video, then you're a real one, you're a G, and I appreciate you so very much. Thank you so much for watching till the end, and please don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. You know, call your parents, your family, your grandmother, your dad, Gishwena, great grandmother, everybody. Just bring them and let them join the family. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.